outside of what we perceive, beyond what we perceive. There is the silence, there is a stillness. A transparency, a sort of absence. That we can recognize, but we cannot recognize it like we recognize a tree or like we recognize the weather. It's a different sort of recognition. Sometimes we use the term outer and inner, but in fact, in our experience, there isn't an outer and an inner. Through the senses, we experience multiplicity, we experience various forms, various thoughts, various perceptions. We experience the body in so many different ways it manifests. We experience myriad thoughts. That's the phenomenal realm, which refers to somebody who is experiencing. But when we look for that somebody that is experiencing, we don't find a separate, limited self. We do not find a particular personal perceiver. But then we may ask, well, what is it that perceives? We cannot deny perception. But what is its nature? What is the nature of this perception? And what could answer this question? When we look at perception, what is it that is looking? When we are looking at a tree, what is it that is looking? when we are hearing these words, what is it that is hearing? Is there a particular body-mind form that is hearing in your experience? Or just the transparency of hearing that we cannot even call hearing, that does not need to be called anything? Is it not your experience that the hearing precedes the labeling of it as hearing? That there is something that is happening that cannot be known by the mind, and therefore cannot even be called a happening, since the mind cannot know it. So this happening, which we call hearing, is in fact a non-happening. From the mind's perspective, it is a happening called hearing. But what is the mind? A thought that arises. Like a cloud, like a breeze, a passing breeze. What does it know about what is happening or not happening? But the biggest happening of them all is me happening. I am happening. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is this I that is happening? In the absence of a thought, in the absence of an image, what is this I? A thought arises that refers to I. This thought that arises, this image that arises, is that where the I resides? Is that where I reside? Within the thought, within the image? An ongoing thread of images. Is that the I, a thread of images? A storyline of images and thoughts and feelings and recollections? What am I? What are you before any thought tremor arises? before a memory arises. You are you not, before thought. You do not need thought to be. You are pre-thought, are you not? What is that that is pre-thought? What is that I that is? What is isness? What is it that is pre-thought? Whatever it is, it is. And as a thought arises, does the isness that is pre-thought, does that become a different isness? Do you become suddenly a body-mind as the thought arises? Any thought that arises that refers to a body-mind, to I, or refers to anything, as a thought arises, does the I that is pre-thought changes? Does it change as the thought arises? Is it altered by the thought? The I that is pre-thought, is that altered by the thought? How could a thought alter that is before it, beyond it, without it? And yet, when a thought arises, a positive thought or a negative thought about ourselves arises, we do feel that we are altered. We do feel happy or unhappy. Happy when a pretty thought arises, and unhappy when a less pretty thought arises. Yes, we do experience that we are altered, that something has happened to I. What makes it that the I that is, the presence that is, the isness that is, pre-thought, free of thought, is altered as a thought arises? What makes it so? How could that which is completely transparent, completely free of mentation, completely free of perception, how could that which is complete transparency be altered, be affected, be tainted by something such as a thought or a perception that arises and dissolves as it arises? How could it be? What's the process? What's dynamics? What's happening that we are subject, even victims of thoughts and sensations and feelings, events, appearances that are fleeting. Obviously, that is pre-thought, because there is an isness pre-thought. Before a thought arises, there is no thought. Well, if you say, well, that's not true, there is a thought before that thought. Well, if there is a thought before this current thought that is arising, there must be a gap between the previous thought and this thought. There must be a space of no thought. Otherwise, it would be one thought. So there is a space of no thought. You can call it a gap. You can call it anything you want to call it. There is a no thought. And within that no thought, I am. I am. How could that, which is completely free of thought, meaning completely transparent, be affected by any form that arises? It cannot. What is completely transparent, completely free of thought, cannot be affected by thought. It cannot. So all your travails and all your troubles that are the consequence of thoughts and events and situations, all your troubles are no troubles. There are no troubles, are not real troubles. Because that you are is free of that. But yet that's not your experience. You're experiencing troubles and conflicts and challenges. Are you really? Is this what's really happening? Are you really, truly experiencing a challenge? You have to find out. How would you find out? You cannot find out by going to the story, because the story is always saying, me, he, she did this, did that, I should have done this, I should have done that. That's thinking, that thought. You have to go to that which is suffering. You have to go to that which is experiencing the conflict. Because that which is experiencing the conflict will tell you, yes, I am in deep doo-doo, I'm suffering. So you go there. You go to that which is suffering. You say, hello, I want to get to know you. I want to know your troubles. I want to know your travails. Please share them with me. To whom would you go? To I that is suffering. The I that is suffering. And the I that is suffering has to be present in this very moment. So you go to the I that is present in this very moment, that is suffering. And what will you find? What do you find? What is your experience? Don't you find thoughts and thoughts and more thoughts thoughts and sensations, and more thoughts and sensations, and stories and memories and conversations, and their thoughts. Yes, do you actually find something that is suffering outside of the thoughts and the stories and the stories about someone? That someone that is suffering is somehow in that story, in those thoughts. Within the thoughts, there is this so-called someone that is suffering. And that someone that is suffering, that is within the thought, is made out of thought, is made out of thought particles, of thought dynamics, thought vibrations. But that, whatever it is that right now is hearing these words, whatever it is, you cannot deny the reality, whatever it refers to, that is right now is not nothing. It's not, it may not be what appears, but there is not nothing. There is something which is not a thing. You cannot call it a thing or anything, but yet you cannot deny isness, beingness, awareness, whatever the words are. It doesn't matter. It's something that is real, that has no name and no age and no form. That's undeniable. Awareness is undeniable. And that is not a thought. Within that, a thought may arise. Even a thought about awareness may arise. It arises in awareness, within awareness. But the thought that arises about awareness is not awareness. It's a thought about awareness. That which truly perceives, which truly hears, which truly is not a thought. Everything else is. Is that not your experience? You cannot think about it to look directly right now. Looking is a fresh looking that has no history, that has no past, no future. It is a looking, not knowing, a listening that has no listener, a listening without knowing, sort of a free falling into listening as listening. What is it? This moment that is undeniable, that no, nothing stands apart of from it, a part of it. That which has no bits and pieces, that has no parts, no here or there, no me or you, no coming and going, no yesterday or tomorrow. That's indivisible. It cannot be formulated in any conceptual way or any way. But yet it's undeniable that we know it as our full knowing, as our wholeness, as our totality, complete knowingness. What is it that is troubled? What is it that is stirring? Stirring. Is it that is stirring? Are you stirring? Can you actually be stirring in the absence of thought? Is it possible in the absence of images, in the absence of a spinning story, But me, my life, my friends, my family, my future, my job, my whatever, a spinning story about a me. What me? Which me? What me? Where? Where do you go? As soon as you're looking out, you have made an assumption of somebody that is looking, somebody apart that is looking out. What is this somebody that separating itself, so-called separating itself from what? What is separating itself? What is out there? What is this out there thing that appears to you and that you believe it to be so true? Something out there or sometime in the future. What is that? What is it that you're pursuing and who is it or what is it that is pursuing something, that's hoping, that's wishing, that's planning, that's trying, that's attempting? What sort of madness is that? Insanity. It's a sort of insanity. It's said that the truth is hidden in full sight. Truth is hidden in full sight. And you are that reality. But somehow you need to look into it. What is it that's looking into it? It's looking into itself. It's body that is looking into something else. Separation is illusion. So the so-called looking is not a really looking. It's not like a looking in traditional sense that I am looking at that. It's a looking without a looking, without a looker. It's a There are no words for it. But yet it's not nothing. You cannot ignore it. You cannot walk past it. Because you keep coming back. You will keep coming back to it. You will keep coming back to it. And now you are here. So what is it? What are you truly? What is your reality? You have to drop all your assumptions. Your assumptions.